If I had 6 hours to cut down a tree, I'd spend 4 hours sharpening my axe.
Same analogy of spending more time sharpening your axe and actually cutting down the tree, we're going to apply that exact same thing to building out and planning my budget for this $1 million company. So if you think about it, 12 months, $1 million in revenue, that's what, $83,333? Let's round that up to a nice even $100,000 a month in income. So we're gonna take this $100,000 a month and let's talk about a budget on all of our expenses. Now, the way that I like to look at this is math is the path, baby. That means that we're gonna take our first section of percentages of all of our COGS, our cost of goods sold, and we're gonna kind of break those out. So one of our first biggest expenses of a service business, of course, is gonna be labor. So we're gonna be taking about 15% right here on our labor costs, right? You don't make $1 until you actually have the technicians out in the field doing the work. Now that might seem a little bit low, and it is a little bit low, but that's because this business is gonna be a little bit heavier on the materials side of things. So on the materials, we're also gonna be budgeting another 15% on materials. All of our epoxy, our polyaspartic, our painting, our coatings, we're gonna have about 15% set aside for materials. Then we're gonna have about another 5%, we'll just call it miscellaneous to keep it simple. But this is really like our small tools and supplies, our consumables, our gas for our automobiles, anything else that we're gonna be using to actually get the work done. So the total on this right here is about 35% for our COGS, cost of goods sold. By the way, if you are not measuring and separating out your COGS, like the labor for your technicians, start doing it. This is a critical number. The inverse of this number is your gross margin percentage. So the gross margin on this company is going to be about 65%, right? The opposite of 35%, which is a really good percentage to scale a service business. The next thing we're going to look at are all of our fixed expenses. Now, these are expenses that occur whether or not you actually go out and, perform the work. These are expenses just to run your business. So if you think about that side, we're going to be spending about 10% in marketing. Now, if you want to have $1 million business, are you spending $10,000 a month?
No, God, please, no, no, no!
You got to make some bold moves on your marketing spend and test and tweak exactly what's working so you can scale it if you want to get to that 7-figure $1 million business. So think about that. If you want to grow, start spending more on your marketing. Then we're going to have probably about 20% on the admin payroll side. This is owner's pay, this is admin manager, production manager, salespeople. Then we're going to put in about like another 10% for miscellaneous expenses. And this really is a catch-all, right? So if you look at this percentage, we're left with about 40% for our expenses, right? So if you look at this, our COGS and our expenses, that ends up leaving us with a net profit of about 25% net profit, which is great for a service business.
What you gonna do, Jerry?
Now, one of the rules that I talked about when starting up this company was I was going to be using a small amount of startup cash, because if I say, hey, I have a $100,000 budget to start this up, no one else is going to be able to duplicate that, right? In fact, you may watch this and say, well, that's the only reason why Brandon was able to scale up as quick as he did, is because he had all this cash. And by tiny amount, to me, that's $15,000. Now, you might be looking at that and saying, Brandon, dude, I don't even have $15,000 cash. You know what? That's okay. This is a type of a business to where, we have $10,000 grinders, $20,000 grinders. We have generators. We have, equipment, supplies. It can add up very quickly, especially when you start looking at the brand. So we are going to leverage a couple things, and I want to talk about that. First off, we're going to be spending probably about $3,000 on the brand itself, right? So you can spend more, you can spend less. Some people pay $20,000 for a big national franchise type brand. But I think we got an absolutely rock star brand. And this was a big important part to make sure that I was kind of allocating that spend on branding. $2,000 we're gonna set aside for travel. Why do we have travel on here? Because me and my guys gotta learn how to do this service. I'm not gonna be working out in the field, so I'm gonna have to make sure I have enough travel in there to bring my guys with me, to go to a manufacturer, an education facility to kind of learn a little bit more. Now, another one of my budget components for my cash is gonna be marketing. If I'm gonna be spending this amount on marketing right here, I'm gonna need to make sure I reserve some of my cash to start testing and tweaking and scale it up. Probably from day one, I'm gonna be spending $150 a day on marketing. So I really, really want the phone to ring to keep my 3 full-time employees busy from day one. And this is why you're really gonna see that this type of thing is a lot more of a marketing and systems game than it really is the how to do the thing type of a game. Now, I kind of view there being 4 key successes to making this work. The first key that I'm going to be looking at is going to be establishing a net 30 account with my manufacturer on the coding side of things, so that way I can buy a nice batch of supplies and I have 30 days to pay it off. Another key that I'm going to be looking at is going to be in leasing the van. And we're going to talk in a future episode about leasing versus buying, new versus used. That's definitely an important part. We're going to also look at renting some equipment. These $20,000 grinders, I'm not going to have that startup cash. If I did, I could just go out and buy them. So I'll pay a little bit of a premium to rent them, but it'll enable us to do a few jobs, kind of figure out what kind of equipment we like, and then get enough cash to be able to buy them later on. And then the other thing I am going to be looking at doing is financing. A lot of vendors, they do financing, and you can kind of get caught up on some of the interest rates, but when you see how quickly you can scale up a service business, having that equipment and maybe paying a little bit of a premium on that may or may not be worth it. I'm not sure. I'm going to be digging into that a little bit more, but these are going to be our 4 things that we're going to need to make sure that we address moving forward. I actually have a really good friend of mine, Kedma O, who owns Target Funding. I'm going to be approaching her and talking about the feasibility of maybe doing some of these financing, as well as talking to the vendors and see if they offer some kind of financing as well. Whew. All right, so that's a lot. I know we covered a lot. I'm tired, but we're going to keep punching through this because remember, spend more time in planning than on the execution side. So I'm going to show you my nerdy Excel spreadsheet, and we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty details of growing this business to $1 million. Let's go. Now I have to warn you, when I show you this sheet, you're probably going to be overwhelmed if you are not a Microsoft Excel user and spreadsheets really freak you out and lots of numbers. But I've designed this to be as simple as possible and to do all the heavy lifting on the math for you. In fact, Karen Cruz over at Yeti Books and myself, we collaborated and we actually put together a financial ninja workshop where we spent 2 days teaching a group of people how to create their own budget for their own business. So if you're interested in checking that out, go ahead and click on the link right down here below and you can download this worksheet as well as watch the recordings of that workshop. So let me go ahead and show you how I have mine filled out, and then you can get an idea on how you can fill out your own. Okay, here is my budget sheet, and I'm going to walk you through this a little bit more quickly. But basically, there's a few different sections. This top section is the executive summary. I have built out a revenue calculator to talk about how many you have in a crew, your average revenue per day, and automatically calculate all that for you. Employee cost calculator. One great thing about this budget sheet is actually it'll project what our bank account balance is going to be each month for the entire year. We have a little crew and truck revenue planning sheet. Now, here's a great thing about building out a budget. They're living, breathing documents, meaning I'm not locked in to this is my exact plan for the entire year. I may do the first month, and very likely I'll do the first month and then go back and start tweaking and adjusting my budget. I have all of my technician pay budgeted out of when I'm going to hire my first full-time techs. I have my owner salary plugged in here. I also have the pay for my production manager, which is Jackson. Eventually, he's going to start out obviously as a lead technician. Same thing with Tanner as my full-time salesperson. He's going to be taking care of sales. And for the first couple months, he'll be also answering phones and going out and doing the estimates. Hopefully sometime in March or April is when we'll be able to afford to hire a full-time admin or office manager that can come in to help answer the phones. So that's kind of the game plan. All of my expenses are budgeted out right down here. All of our COGS that we have, remember on that board, I wrote up, kind of targeting around that 35%. By the time I put it down on paper, we're right about 34%. We have our 10% budget for marketing. We have our budget for payroll, which between me and the payroll and the admin. Now, I'm spending a little bit more on this part of it because I don't want to work out in the field. And I want to spend, honestly, the least amount of time in the business as possible. That's why I'm designing this business, is to be a tool for me. We have our rent budget. Yes, I do have a shop, but the business will be paying rent on that shop. It's not a free ride. Everything is going to be legitimate. We have that $2,000 travel expense to go travel down. And then we have all of our asset purchases down here. So on the cash flow side of things, it's going to be tight. We're going to be getting close. In fact, by the time I put all this out, that $15,000 bank account balance, it drops down pretty quickly, all the way down to a negative $685. So I'm going to kind of tweak on this a little bit more. That makes me a little bit uncomfortable getting that close on the cash flow. But if you look at how we run for the year, by the end of the year, we'll have $215,000 cash sitting in the bank account after all of our expenses on here. And we'll be able to distribute that out as cash. Probably take $150,000 of that out as distributions, potentially. So this is kind of the budget. Now it's time to sit down and execute. This did take a while to write this out, but remember, sharpening the axe so the execution is quicker. Every single month, I'm going to be looking at this budget sheet, and I'm going to be sitting down and putting in all of my actuals, my actual sales, my actual pay for all of my technicians and what I'm paying them on here, and all of our expenses. Yeti Books is going to be helping me out with that. They specialize in accounting and bookkeeping specifically for service businesses. And so they're going to be sending me monthly reports. If you're interested in checking out Yeti, you can go ahead and click on this link down below in the description, and you can go over and check out Yeti Books. Make sure that you tell them that I sent you. So that's the game plan. Now it's time to actually execute. If you guys are enjoying this channel, make sure that you hit the like button, hit subscribe, ring that bell for notifications so that you'll be notified of every new episode that we do. And a big thank you to all of our Maps Mastery members for supporting the channel. If you're interested in checking out Maps Mastery, click on the link down below. We do monthly group coaching calls. I'm sharing resources and documents and behind the scenes. I'm talking about marketing things, and you get a little bit of a sneak peek of what's happening. Remember, these episodes, they're about 2 months behind where we actually are today. So the cool thing is that in that group, we're talking about what's going on right now. So if you want to check out a little bit more behind the scenes, check out Maps Mastery, and we'll see you guys in the next one.